I'm Rachel Power, Community Correspondent of AccountingWEB.co.uk, and I'm here with John Stockdyke, Accounting Web Editor, to discuss our Software Satisfaction Award shortlist results. At the end of this video, we're going to add on the winners, but not until November 7th, as that's when they're announced. Iris, BTC, KeyTime, TaxCalc, Sage, PTP, CCH and Digitem.
No, it's all the big old names of the sector that we're pretty familiar with. A previous winner, Drumore, isn't in there. They won it a couple of years in the past. They're part of the Iris stable now, but they've dropped out. TaxFiler was an interesting one. They're a web-based developer. They were pretty much the first practice tool to be offered in the cloud. We've got a few votes for them, but not enough really to register on the same level of use of the likes of Iris with 18% and BTC with 17%. The BTC proportion, that's quite a newish small company, so that's a pretty good showing for them in terms of the number of people voting for them. But otherwise, yeah, it's all the names we know and have come to love.
That's VT Accounts, Iris, Sage, Caseware, KeyTime and Relate.
No, again, the Iris, the Sage, KeyTime, we're all in the tax section as well. VT Accounts, of course, is a bit of a sort of software legend in the accounting web community. That's again an Excel-based tool that's very popular coming up, especially for self-assessment time. It's a great tool to sort of bang in the receipts and the invoices from your small business clients and get a set of accounts out quite quickly. But again, Excel-based and a bit sort of very much a small practitioner tool. Caseware, that's a good share for them in that market, because that's the sort of other end of the scale to VT. Caseware's really a big firm tool. They've also kind of made inroads to the corporate market, so they're now selling accounts production directly to companies who will prep up their own accounts and then give them to the accountant. So they're doing well. I'd say KeyTime and Relate, our friends from Ireland, have made a really good showing. There was quite a big strong vote from the Irish community. We saw Big Red Book as well in the small business accounts, and so usual names. May the best team win, really.
Iris, BTC, Relate Drive, CCH, Logical Office, Digita, Sage and Workflow Max.
We'll start with BTC up there at top. I mean, Iris has really emerged in terms of the numbers of users as a pretty clear market leader, and we, I mentioned the Drumore share of tax earlier. They've also got PTP, which was a nominee in the tax section as well. So Iris, big chunk of there, but BTC, 16% of the practice management sample. Again, great showing for them, because you think of them as a tax software company, but they're definitely in there with mixing it up with Iris. Relate Drive's a previous winner, so seeing them in there again is no surprise. But amongst the sort of the smaller market shares, I think Logical Office has kind of got a little niche amongst AccountingWEB members, so it's good to see them in the mix. And Workflow Max, it was a real surprise to me. That's the tool that kind of links into Xero. So that, and their share of this sample at 6% is kind of equivalent to what Xero's share of the small business accounting market is. So their strategy is to move from small business accounts to start mixing it up in actually going to the accountants direct and selling tools to the accountants. So looks like that strategy is beginning to work as well. So a very interesting kind of a mix between the old and the new. And we won't know who wins until the 7th of November. I think in our shortlists, if I'm correct, that's 2 products out of maybe the 15, 16 that we've mentioned. So it's really not a factor at the moment in practice. So the traditional accountancies has lagged behind the wider business world. I think that will change. It could change very, very quickly. As I say, Xero's come out of nowhere to 6% with that Workflow Max tool. And Iris now has got its own tax filing tools. Iris is going gangbusters for bringing out tools. So they've got tax, payroll, document portals are quite popular amongst all of these vendors. A lot of them offer that. So it will definitely come, but I think not until the end of this tax season. Iris has nailed down top spot across, as a comprehensive practice tool. Key time, I think, was in two categories. It didn't and although it had a few, some of Key Time's customers use the Relate Drive product too. So they have their own as well. But Drive had the bigger share. On the mainland. It's kind of the vote split on Key Time's part. Sage, is still in there, and Digita, I think the accounts production still, that's one of their newer products. So they didn't quite make it through just in that one section. But I think over time, the big four, that's Iris, Sage, Digita, and CCH. I think we'll see things emerge around them, but it's the little players. There's say a few interesting things going on, and I think what we also was saying how there are cloud tools really out there now. I've just been documenting them. I think the developer that maybe gets a complete suite of cloud tools available quick, and Sage are threatening to do it. Iris are already well on the way. If one of the big developers can get that in the market, I think they could see quite a lot of movement in that direction quite quickly. When you talk to accountants, a lot of them are very enthusiastic because of the flexibility it gives them. But I also think this is a situation where we could see somebody disruptive come in. If I've always talked about practice in a box, but if you could just have a web suite, £100 a month or less, preferably. I think there could be a stampede if someone actually brought out a fully functional, solid and reliable implementation. So I'm really keen to see if somebody can lay down the challenge to the established players there.
Yeah, prospects sound quite exciting for next year then.
Yep, will do.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for that, John.
Okay, and tune in on the 7th of November to find out who won